Look, I used to suck at flirting. I remember back in high school, I was talking to a group of girls and it was really rainy and cold outside, and I made a comment about how girls' nipples get hard because I thought that was flirting with them. And they all looked at me confused and like, did he really just say that? And then they all just scattered. And my friend turned to me and he said,
Matt, girls actually like you until you open your mouth.
And that stung so hard. So I get it. Showing a girl that you're interested in her and at the same time getting her attracted to you is not always easy, but it should be. If mastered correctly, flirting can be one of the most natural things that you do in the world. But a lot of guys get really overwhelmed with just the thought of having to flirt with a girl that they find really attractive and end up making the whole interaction really stiff and awkward, which of course can be really nerve-wracking. Well, not anymore, gentlemen, because in today's video, I'm going to share with you some of my favorite playful and effective flirting tips that will spark her interest. Because let's face it, that's probably the reason you clicked on this video. So let's dive right in. Oh, and I'm also going to share with you some signs to look out for if you want to find out if she's really enjoying the interaction and probably into you. So you don't want to miss that part of the video. So get your pens and pads ready and let's learn how to flirt. Now, before we get into how to flirt with your words, first you gotta understand how to flirt with your body language. Non-verbal cues are some of the most effective tools in your flirting game, and women have been using them for ages. So the next time you're trying to turn on the charm for a woman, don't forget to keep eye contact. Initiate light contact on her arm or shoulder, or wherever else you can find an excuse to playfully touch her. And it's easy to do. Just look at her in the eyes when you're talking to her for 2 or 3 minutes at a time, then subtly look away. Lean into her when you deliver a joke, and then gently place your hand on her shoulder or her leg while you both are laughing. And then check out her body language as well. Does she seem comfortable? Is she laughing? Does she touch you back? Because she'll often send you signals to show you that she wants you to keep it up. And you'll also know when you need to slow it down a bit from her body language as well. Now, this brings me to one of the most obvious flirting techniques, which is making her laugh. When you make her laugh, she subconsciously has it in her mind that she's having a good time with you. Now, before you bust out your knock-knock jokes, let me tell you, it doesn't really work like that. You may not even need to deliver punchlines to make her laugh. It can be as easy as answering a question with a witty or sarcastic comment, sharing some of your more interesting or crazy experiences, sharing a funny scene in a show or a movie, or even drawing her attention to something funny that's happening around you. For example, when I first meet a girl on the street, I might say within the first couple seconds, "So what are you up to right now besides flirting with charming, sexy guys in the middle of the street?" Now, she doesn't necessarily bust out laughing, but she usually does smile and at least laugh a little bit. Or let's say I'm on a date with a German girl and she asks me what I do for work. I might say, "I travel the world seducing beautiful German women to give them the most intense pleasure that they've ever experienced in their entire life." And she'll usually start to laugh, and then I'll say, "But unfortunately for you, it's my day off." You could actually pull out some knock-knock jokes or cheesy pickup lines. Do you work at Starbucks?
No.
Because I like you a latte. They're corny dad jokes if the situation supports it, or she seems like she's into that sort of humor. Humor is important though, because when you ask for her phone number or you ask her out on a date, it lets her know that hanging out with you is gonna be really fun and she's gonna have positive emotions. Also, when she's laughing, that's a great time to go for her number or make a move, because she's in a really positive emotional state, so she's more likely to say yes. But if you're really in your head worried about what do I say or what do I do to make her laugh, chances are all you're gonna get is an awkward smile. The good news is you don't need to be Kevin Hart.
Hey, who got the thing with the shit in the... All right now. All right, hey, heads in beds right now. I don't even know what that means.
The key is not even actually being funny. It's just that you have a fun, playful outlook towards life. That you don't take yourself or life in general too serious. And of course, with anything, the more you practice, the better you'll be at it. So I highly recommend finding an improvisational comedy class in your city, because you'll learn how to get out of your head and become naturally more witty and humorous. Plus, doing improv is just really, really fun. Now, the next playful flirting tip that I'm going to share with you might seem a little counterproductive, but give it a shot because it really does work. And that is disqualifying her. For example, you're having a conversation with this girl, you're flirting with her, and you ask her a question like, what kind of music does she like? And she answers with a type of music that you're not really into, like death metal polka or something. Heavy metal. might reply with, really? Ooh. It's too bad. This is never gonna work. In a tone that's light and playful. She'll likely laugh or roll her eyes at you and give you a retort back. But when you playfully disqualify her like that, even though it's obvious that what kind of music she likes is probably not a deal breaker, it makes her feel the need to prove herself to you or prove that you and her are compatible. She may try to negate the disqualification to put herself back in the running. And now she's going to be more interested and invested in the interaction, which of course helps it advance to the next level. And don't think that this doesn't work with every girl, because it pretty much does. Everybody has the need to prove themselves. But remember, don't do it in a mean-spirited way. It should always be done in a playful tone. Next on our list of playful flirting techniques is one that escalates the interaction ever so slightly, but at the same time can really increase the intimacy. And that is to simply get closer to her. Because it's established that that bubble of air about 18 inches around their body is their personal space. It's like a no-go zone when you first meet somebody. So what you want to do is step into that space for just a moment and then step back out and watch her reaction. You can do that by stepping closer to her to allow someone else to pass by. You can offer your arm to walk arm in arm as you're walking from one venue to the next venue. If you're in a louder place, you can just use that as an excuse to get closer to her because you can't hear what she's saying. If she's really interested in you, then oftentimes she'll step closer to you once you stepped out of her personal space. That, of course, means she enjoyed it. She wants to be closer to you. But if not, then she'll probably lean away as you step into her bubble to keep that space intact, which means she's not ready to be that close just yet. And of course, if she responds positively and it's obvious that she's into you, then by all means, step even closer. Don't stay that close to her. That would be a little weird. But if you do it for a few seconds, it will escalate the interaction a lot quicker. And you'll probably find yourself kissing her in no time. Now, another flirting technique that really does work wonders, especially for showing your interest or your intent, which of course keeps you out of the friend zone most of the time, is to compliment her. And you don't even need to think too hard to find some meaningful compliment. Just something that shows her that you're paying attention to her and that you find her attractive or interesting. So you could say something along the lines of, I like talking to you. Or you're really pretty when you smile like that. It'll definitely make her smile and probably make her day. And she may even reciprocate the compliment. You don't even need to necessarily compliment her directly. For example, you could be people watching and you suddenly turn to her with something along the lines of, have you noticed how people have been looking at you as they're passing by? And then you could follow it up with a compliment about how attractive she is. And girls love being complimented. Scratch that. Everybody loves a good compliment. No matter how tough someone's trying to make themselves appear to be, just about everyone appreciates a good, sincere, honest compliment. And it's a great way to start the conversation in the daytime because there's no real context in a lot of situations, right? You can try to make something up like, hey, I need a female opinion about something, but she's gonna probably realize that you're BSing, which makes her see you as dishonest. Plus it shows a lack of confidence when you just own up to it and you're like, hey, I saw you here and I had to tell you that you're just really beautiful. Come on, man, that's gonna make her melt. And it shows that you don't hide your desire towards women. It shows that you're a man and that you go for what you want. And if you don't get a positive response, no big deal. There's always other opportunities. Don't freak out or lose your cool. It's not the end of the world. Trust me on these tips. They've been working for ages and they're not gonna stop working now. So don't overthink it. Just try it on the next girl that you see and watch her fall for you almost immediately. Well, sort of. I mean, these are just flirting tips. There's obviously more to attraction than just this. So if you wanna dive deeper and learn exactly how to communicate with women in a way that they absolutely love, that sparks instant attraction and a deep connection with them and even gets them to start chasing you, and you want to know exactly what to do in any situation, whether you see a woman walking down the street or you're already on a date with her, then make sure to grab a copy of my book, The Secret Language of Attraction. I'll put a link down in the description and to the right of the screen. Grab it, man. I know you're gonna love it and you're gonna learn a ton about women, what they want, and what really turns them on. Thanks for watching this video. My name's Matt Artisan from The Attractive Man, and I'll see you in the next video.